Hey everybody, this is Mr. Nielsen. It's August 31st, and this video is for parents and students alike. I just sent out the first communications gradebook report just for your information. I wanted to get one out to you soon, right after the first week was done, so that you could have some feedback on how last week went for you. Now, I want you to know that if your grade is lower than you think it should be, or if it's an F, I get that you're just still trying to navigate everything, and I want to give you some grace on that. And I know that some people might just be confused, and that's totally fine. I'm not trying to beat you over the head with this grade report. I just want to let you know how, from my perspective, last week went, so that if your grade is low, you know that maybe there's something you need to do differently this week. Okay? So let's take a look at an example grade report just to explain it really quick. Here's what you'll see if you open the link in this email. Now, the grade reports are divided up into categories. So you can see articles of the week here has no assignments in it yet because I haven't assigned anything in that category. Class participation and engagement, however, has 3 assignments. You can see them here. Grammar lab, nothing. Guided reading, nothing. Vocabulary, nothing yet. But writing has 2. Now, let me just show you how to read this really quickly if you're new to it, because it's a little bit busy and sort of crowded and hard to see. But let's just look at activity 1.1 here, getting to know you survey. I will always name everything in the gradebook according to how it corresponds on the distance learning site. Let me just go there to the communications page really quick. So activity 1.1 was right here. It was the very first thing last week. So 1.1b was this one right here, the second one in 1.1, and then the first one was 1.1a. And so you can always go back and find the activity if you're missing something that it corresponds with. And then there's a description right here of the assignment, and I try and give you good information to help you with that. Over here in the points column, you can see how many points the student got. In this case, because these ones were missing, it's blank. But in the max column, you can see how many it was worth total. That's the maximum score. And the average will calculate out a percentage. In this case, it's 0. The status column gives you a little more information. You can see now why they have 0 out of 8 or 0%. It's because it's missing. And the same is true for this other assignment right here, activity 1.1a. So clearly this student just either skipped 1.1 altogether or just didn't go through the whole activity and didn't do these 2 things right here. The student, however, did do activity 1.4. He turned it in, so you can see it's valid in the status column. However, he didn't do it completely. In fact, he did around a quarter of the assignment and left the rest blank. And so he got a 2 out of 8, or a 25%. So now you can see down here, it will total up the average of this whole category, which is a handy way later on in the quarter to see which categories your student is doing really well in and which ones maybe they need a little bit more work. So let me just go down. The student is doing really, really well in the writing category, however. He's done both of the journal prompts in Seesaw. He's gotten 4 out of 4 on both of them, and his category average is 100% for this category. And you'll notice the writing category is worth 1/3 of the grade, whereas class participation and engagement is only worth 1/10, 10% of the grade versus 30%. So his overall average is actually better than you might think, because of the higher weight of writing. He's at a 78%. Can he do better? Totally. He has a couple of easy things that he didn't do yet. And you could definitely still get those done this week. But I just wanted to show you that's what a grade report looks like. Now, I wanted to let you know that if your grade is lower than you think it should be, or you're surprised by missings, it's probably due to one of 2 things. The first possible thing is that you just haven't been looking at the distance learning website. That is, I'm going to go in here, is this site right here. It says communications at the top. If you don't know this address, it's at the top of the green paper that we gave out at orientation. This is so important. This is the place where all the things you need will be posted. And I definitely know that I've had some students who have just been hanging out in Google Classroom waiting for communications to show up there. And they've even emailed me last week and said, Mr. Nielsen, I don't see communications popping up. You haven't added me to the communications class. Or, Mr. Nielsen, you haven't added me in Seesaw yet. But the thing is that they've just been sitting there in Seesaw and Google Classroom watching those places. The place they need to go is to the distance learning site. If I scroll down here to last week, week 1, activities, they didn't go here and they didn't go through these activities and watch the video and read the directions. Activity 1.2, they actually added themselves to Seesaw. If they went through carefully through the instructions, watched the video, there's the journal prompt. Okay, 1.3, Read the directions, watch the video. There's the journal prompt. Activity 1.4, here's the place where they will add themselves into Google Classroom. And so one of the reasons I actually made adding yourself to Google Classroom an assignment was because I wanted you to remember that you always come here to the distance learning website. I wanted to train you in that this first week. So I didn't just add you to Google Classroom myself because I was worried some students would just never ever come to the distance learning site. They would always just look on Google Classroom. So please, please, please remember that. So that's one possibility. You just haven't been looking at the distance learning site at all. The second possibility, and this is more common, is that you have been looking at the distance learning website, but you just sort of went through it, through these activities in a scattershot way. You just sort of took the shotgun approach and maybe just sort of scanned it really quick to see if there was anything to turn in, but you didn't actually read the directions fully. Or you didn't maybe actually watch the video, or maybe you played the video and watched the first 10 seconds of it, but you didn't take the time to go through the entire activity. If that's you, and I know there are some people that this is true of, you're missing things, okay? Just like this guy here. He's missing some things because he just sort of sped through and he didn't do each activity methodically all the way through. I do expect you to read the directions carefully, watch every video all the way to the end. Look at this product section right here, and then you'll know what to do every single time. One thing I'll say is in this product category right here, if I list something, that's something that's going in the gradebook. Okay, so that was activity 1.2. That's this journal prompt number 1 right here. Right? Here's journal prompt number 1. I'm never going to list something, I'm never going to grade something in the gradebook here that I did not list over here. Okay, so look at this. This is telling you exactly what I'm grading. Okay, and I think for a lot of students who have a low grade right now, it's more that second one, that you're looking at this, but you're not actually going through it carefully. So for you this week, your job is to just be a lot more careful with it and go through each activity piece by piece and be thorough with it. Okay? That's all I have. If you have any questions, please get in touch with me. I'm cheering for you. I am on your side, and I want you to do the best that you can. All right, have a great day.